Men start noticing changes in their 30s and 40s, things like sleep problems, mood swings, or brain fog, but often don't realize it could be the start of perimenopause. Joining us now to discuss what every woman needs to know is board-certified OBGYN and medical advisor for Flow Health, Dr. Samina Rahman.
Thank you for having me.
What exactly is perimenopause, and when do symptoms usually start to appear?
Perimenopause is that natural transition that happens as you lead up to that final menstrual period, which is officially menopause, and everything after that is postmenopause. And so during that transition, we have a lot of fluctuation in estrogen levels, which result in a lot of different symptoms for different women. It can be anywhere from, the typical hot flashes, night sweats that you hear about. You can have irregular cycles, cognitive distress, like what word am I trying to remember here? Mood changes, musculoskeletal symptoms. There is so much happening here that, women actually experience a lot of distress during this period of time.
How can these symptoms impact daily life, especially for women balancing careers and families?
Yeah, well, if you have estrogen receptors from head to toe, so you can imagine that women can experience a wide variety of symptoms. We talked a little bit about the mood disruption and sleep disturbance. Some of these things can actually impact your relationships. It can impact your ability to get going in the morning with fatigue. As an advisor from Flow, we've done some research on this as well. And what we found is that from a workforce perspective, there's at least $2,700 a year that is lost in productivity for each woman in the United States, which kind of accounts to about $22 billion a year. So it's not just hormonal fluctuations. It impacts work. It impacts the ability to, continue work for a lot of people, because a lot of them leave the workforce as well.
Do you have any tips or advice to help women manage these symptoms?
Yeah, we always say awareness is the first step, right? So we have to become a little aware of what's happening with our body, with our symptoms. We want to make sure that, we can track these. One great way to track them is, again, I'm an advisor for Flow, so we actually have this perimenopause mode that we have on the app that can help you track the symptoms. Now, obviously, that's the first step. There's also a lot of other things that we can offer. As a clinician, I'm always advising women to look at lifestyle. We want to make sure we're optimizing our sleep. We want to make sure that we are reducing stress. I mean, women in midlife are balancing everything, right? Careers, family, taking care of parents maybe. So there's a lot going on. We want to try to minimize that stress to help really endure life a little bit easier. We obviously have hormones that we can utilize. There's a lot in our toolbox, but awareness is always the first step in trying to understand what we should do next.
Are there any resources that can help women take control of their health journey?
Yeah, well, there's tons of resources out there. They always say menopause is having a moment here, right? So what we know is from the Flow perspective, we have the perimenopause risk score that you can take, actually. And so it actually is a validated risk assessment that has been examined and evaluated by over 120 medical advisors. And so this is one way to kind of understand the severity of your symptoms, how bad they are, where you might want to go for treatment thereafter, and just trying to understand what's happening. So that's pretty much like the first step, I would say, that we would want to go to.
Where can we go for more information?
Yeah, well, you can go to www.flow.health or download the Flow app. You can get on there and you can try to take your first perimenopause risk assessment for yourself. Try to figure out where you're at so that you can actually get on top of it. The earlier you get on top of it, the better your outcomes will be.
Thank you for joining us, Doctor.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.